بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وأصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين. ممتاز. فوقفنا عند الدرس السادس. So we have arrived, or we stopped at lesson 6. So we completed 1 to 5. And we did do a recap on Telegram of all of the rules that we've studied so far. So far, as a quick recap, we've studied هذا, which is this is, so it's masculine. Can you write in here? So we have so we've studied هذا, and we mentioned that it's masculine, and it means this is. So we say هذا كتاب, هذا قلم, هذا قمر. And then in lesson 2 we studied ذلك, which means that is, and it's masculine again. So we say ذلك قلم, ذلك كتاب, ذلك مدرس, ذلك كلب. And in lesson 3 we studied alif and lam, or lam al-ta'rif, the lam of definition. So we mentioned that nouns, generally they end with 2 dhammas. Baytun, which means a house. And when we add alif and lam to the noun, then it changes it from 2 dhammas to 1 dhamma, al-baytu, and it makes it definite by becoming the house. So a house, baytun, to al-baytu. And then in lesson 4 we studied the huruf al-jar, which were fi, ala, ila, and min, which fi is from, ala means on, ila means to, min means from. And we mentioned these are prepositions, and the effect that they have on nouns is that whenever they come before a noun, they make the noun change from a dhamma to a kasra. So for example, we say al-baytu, and when we add one of these prepositions, fi, ala, ila, min. So for example, we say fi, in, al-bayt, so we change this from dhamma to a kasra, fil bayti, fil bayti. So, and if the word has 2 dhammas, for example, the name Muhammadun, and we put a preposition before it, min, then it changes it from 2 dhammas to 2 kasras. So like for like, it changes it from whether it's 1 dhamma to 1 kasra, 2 dhammas to 2 kasras. Min Muhammadin, from Muhammad. And then in lesson 5, the last lesson we've done, we studied mudaf wa mudafun ilayh, the owned and the owner, or the possessed and the possessor. And we mentioned, for example, we gave the example kitabu. So we have kitabun, which means a book, and we have Allah, which is a name. And if we want to connect the 2 together by saying Allah's book, then we say kitabu Allahi. And we mentioned that kitab is mudaf, the possessed, and it doesn't like 2 things. It doesn't like alif and lam, so we can't put alif and lam at the beginning, and it doesn't like tanween, which is 2 dhammas, 2 kasras, or 2 fathas. So it has to have just one. So we say kitabu, and Allahi is mudafun ilayh, the owned, or the owner, or the possessor. And we said yuhibbu al-kasra, that it loves to take a kasra. So it doesn't end, you won't find it ending with a dhamma. It has to end with a kasra. Kitabullahi, Rasulullahi. So that was a quick roundup. We keep repeating these to be repetitive, as being repetitive is a good way of learning. So we've learned, we reached ad-darsu السادس. The sixth lesson. So in the sixth lesson, we are studying what most of you already probably know is هذه. So هذه, just like is, as you probably guessed it by now, is the feminine. It's the feminine of هذا. So we say هذا, this is, and we mentioned before that هذا is مذكر. مذكر, which means masculine. هذه means the same thing. It means this is, but we say it is مؤنث. It's feminine. مؤنث. Feminine. So we have مذكر, مؤنث. And just like هذا, we say it's مؤنث and مفرد, singular. مفرد. We say هذه مؤنث مفرد. That it's feminine and it's singular. Now, so in this lesson, all this lesson is based around هذه, and so I don't think هذه needs much explaining. It's fairly straightforward. We've done هذا, so now هذه, and we mentioned throughout the lessons that in the Arabic language, nouns are either masculine or feminine. So we say هذا for masculine and هذه for feminine. Okay, so one of the other rules which we are going to study in this book is what it's called studying a lam, which is called lamu al-milk. So it's easy to remember. Just remember milk and lamul milk. And if you notice here, lamul milki is mudaf and mudafun ilay. The lam of milk. So milk in the Arabic language means possession. So the lam of possession. So when we attach it to something, the thing that we're talking about belongs to the person who we attach it to. And an easy example of that is when we say Alhamdu lillahi. Alhamdu, which we mentioned in other lessons. Alhamdu means ash-shukr wa thana. Thanks and praise belongs to who? Lillahi, belongs to Allah. So for example, we could say al-qalamu li, and then we add a name to it. So it attaches to the name li hamidin. Al-qalamu li hamidin. And what you should have guessed by now is this lam al-milk, is another harful jar. As we mentioned above in the recap, we mentioned the huruf al-jar fi, ala, ila, min, and now we have this one, lam al-milk, the lam of possession, which is another harful jar. So now we've studied fi 1, ila, min, ala 4, and now this lam al-milk 5, and we also mentioned the ba in the basmala, bismillah, that's another harf al-jar. And in some of the exercises it mentions an, which is also a harf al-jar. So all of these, when they come before nouns, they cause the noun to take a kasra. Now, so this, it will become clear once we get into the lesson. So we can have Aqib and Abu Bilal, if you just read a sentence each.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Okay. Haza ibn Hamidin wa hazi bintu Yasirin.
Now, هذا, if you try and say the dhal,
Haza.
هذا, yeah, slightly هذا هذا. Don't worry about it. Yeah. هذا. So read it again.
هذا ابن حامد وهذه بنت ياسر.
نعم. هذا ابن حامد وهذه بنت ياسر. عاقب.
السلام عليكم.
السلام.
ابن حامد جالس وبنت ياسر واقفة.
عاقب. هذا خطأ. Read it again.
ابن حامد جالس وبنت ياسر
ابن حامد
جالس.
ابن حامد. Look at the top line.
ابن حامد جالس.
لا شوف هذا ابن حامد وهذه بنت ياسر. And then you read ابن حامد.
ابن حامد جالس وبنت ياسر واقفة.
نعم. So where was your mistake? You read it the first few times, you made a mistake. Where was your mistake?
I read it Dhamma instead of Kasra.
You read it Dhamma instead of Kasra. And why is it a Kasra instead of a Dhamma? Aqib.
Yes.
Why is it Kasra and not Dhamma?
Because it has Ibn before.
So what does that mean?
Mudaf ilayh.
Okay. It's a bit loud where you are, Aqib. So you can go into another room or... نعم. Okay, no problem. Okay, so it's مضاف إليه. So هذا ابن حامد وهذه بنت ياسر. نعم. أبو بلال، ما معنى الجملة؟
هذا this is the son of Hamidin. وهذه and this is the daughter of Yasir.
نعم. نعم. أن عاقب ابن حامد جالس وبنت ياسر واقفة.
Son of Hamid is sitting and the daughter of Yasir is standing.
نعم. جيد. So some of you may have already... So, okay, so we have هذه. Obviously, we mentioned هذه because bint is feminine and نعم. And then the second sentence, ابن حامد جالس. So we need to pay attention to جالس وبنت ياسر واقفة. So what you should have recognized by now is jalis, as we mentioned before. Jalis is a sifa. It's an adjective. Sifa. And this sifa, obviously, you can disable your mic, please. Bilal. So because Hamid is masculine, then the sifa, the adjective, has to be masculine also. So if we look, وَبِنْتُ يَاسِرٍ, and the daughter of Yasir, وَاقِفَةٌ. وَاقِفَةٌ. So the adjective for the daughter has changed, is feminine also. So when you're describing someone, then the adjectives have to change from masculine to feminine. And it's very simple because we studied before, waqifun means standing, and then waqifatun, all we do is just add a ta marbuta, one of these tas, connected ta, to the adjective to make it feminine. That's all we do. So we will say Ibn Hamidin waqifun wa bintu Yasirin jalisatun, if we were to change it around. So carry on, Aqib, if we read the next one. So you're doing a sentence each, both for you.
Man hazihi. هذه أخت المهندس.
لا, you do in one sentence, that's it.
هذه أخت المهندس.
نعم. Sorry, Aqib, we're going to have to change to someone else. Umar Farouk. There's too much background noise where you are, Aqib. نعم أم فاروق.
نعم.
هي أيضا.
هي أيضا مهندسة.
لا هي طبيبة.
نعم جيد. So من هذه؟ ما معنى من هذه أبو بلال؟
من هذه? Who is this?
Who is this? So we said هذه أخت المهندس. أخت مضاف، المهندس مضاف إليه. ما معنى الجملة؟
هذه, this is the sister of the engineer.
نعم. And then Umar, he says هي أيضا مهندسة.
Is she also an engineer?
نعم. So we have a new word here. أيضا means also. And then muhandisatun. So the author here is showing you the clear difference between masculine and feminine adjectives or titles. So all we've done here is just add the term marbuta to make it feminine. هي أيضا مهندسة. Is she? Is, number alif means she. The hamza. هي أيضا مهندسة. Is she also an engineer? And he says لا هي طبيبة. No, هي طبيبة. As we've studied طبيب in, I think it was the first lesson. طبيبة, a female doctor. نعم. So we don't need to translate it's a female doctor, but because we know just by looking at it that it's feminine. نعم. So if we carry on, Abu Bilal.
سيارة من هذه؟
نعم عمر.
نعم. هذه سيارة المدير.
هذه سيارة المدير. نعم. سيارة من هذه. As you know, in the last lesson we were doing like كتاب من هذا, قلم من هذا. So we're doing the same here but with feminine. So سيارة من هذه. سيارة means car. نعم. In older texts, سيارة, it can mean caravan as well, as is mentioned in Surah Yusuf. هذه سيارة المدير. عمر, سيارة المدير. What do we call this in Arabic?
مضاف and مضاف إليه.
مضاف مضاف إليه. ممتاز. Okay, so we have Asif and S. Ali reading now. Asif. No.
Did you call me?
No. Abdullah. Let's have Abdullah then. Okay, S. Ali.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam. Tafadhal.
Should I read the first one?
نعم.
Okay. Jazakumullah. ما هذه؟
هذه مكواة.
مكواة.
هذه مكواة.
نعم. ما هذه؟ هذه مكواة. ما معنى مكواة؟
Iron.
It's an iron. نعم. جيد. هذه مكواة. Next one.
من هذه؟
لمن.
لمن هذه؟
نعم عبد الله.
هذه لخالد.
هذه لخالد. نعم. ما معنى لمن هذه؟
لمن هذه؟
S. Ali. ما معنى لمن هذه؟
أمر لمن هذه؟ I know this is Liman. I forgot. Sorry.
So Abdullah, do you know what it means?
Whose is this?
Yeah, or who does this belong to?
Who does?
As we mentioned, this lam is lam al-milk, the possession. Liman, when you put it liman, so it's hard to just translate it in one or two words. In English, we say, who does this belong to? Or whose is this? So we're referring, obviously, lil haqiba. That's why it's هذه, because حقيبة is مؤنث. حقيبة لمن هذه؟ هذه لخالد. نعم. ما معنى هذه لخالد عبد الله؟
This is Khalid's bag.
No.
This is Khalid's.
No. Yeah, well, this belongs to Khalid.
This belongs to Khalid.
نعم. If we said this is Khalid's bag, that means هذه حقيبة خالد.
Khalid.
That's a totally different sentence. نعم.
Dad, why is here هذه for like, okay, it's for bag, it's not for Khalid.
Yeah, we're talking about we're talking about the bag, not Khalid.
Yes. Okay.
نعم. جيد. Next one.
to Anasin Hazihi.
نعم تفضل read. Who's supposed to be reading? Abdullah.
Oh, sorry. لا هذه دراجة عمار. هذه جديدة. جديد.
جديدة.
جديدة.
Carry on.
والدراجة أنا. Am I the one who read?
Yep.
والدراجة أنس قديمة.
You see, it's a comma, so it means it hasn't finished yet.
Oh, yeah.
نعم. So دراجة أنس هذه. So see, دراجة means bike. So is this أنس's bike? So دراجة مضاف أنس مضاف إليه. نعم. So دراجة, it's مؤنث. Why? Because we can see the ta al-marbuta, the connected ta, which comes at the end. And then he says لا. No, هذه دراجة عمار. No, this is Ammar's bike. هذه جديدة. This is new. So why is he said جديدة and not جديد?
Because of feminine. Bicycle.
No, because daraja is feminine, so its adjective has to be feminine also. Now, so we say darajatun jadidatun, a new bike, not jadidun. Wa darajatu anasin qadimatun, and he says this is new, and Anas's bike is old. So he's explaining why it's not Anas's bike. Why? Because darajatu anasin qadimatun. So we've studied these words before, jadidun wal-aks qadimun. So now it's just the same. We're just adding the ta marbuta at the end of the end of this sifa. طيب, so let's have Zakaria and Noble reading. Zakaria first.
السلام عليكم يا أستاذ.
السلام الله. تفضل يا.
هذه ساعة علي.
ساعة.
هي ساعة علي.
لا you're saying ساعة.
Oh, ساعة.
لا.
No, sorry, ساعة.
ساعة
علي. هي جميلة جدا.
نعم, هذه ساعة علي. هي جميلة جدا. نعم. ما معنى الجملة؟
The beginning one. This watch. This is Ali's watch, sorry, and this is very beautiful.
No. You're right, but you're not paying. Be specific in how you word your sentences. هذه ساعة علي. So this is Ali's watch. هي جميلة جدا.
It is very beautiful.
نعم. It. نعم. The beginning you said this is. نعم. هي جميلة جدا. So this جدا, we can add it on the ends of any sentence and it makes it become very. So for example, we say هذه فاطمة. هي طويلة جدا. She is very tall. نعم. So we add جدا means very. جميلة جدا. We don't say as well. We don't say جدا جميل as we would in English. We don't say جدا جميل. We say جميل جدا. نعم. جيد. هي جميلة جدا. So why is he said, whoever read this one, whoever read this sentence, why have we said here and not huwa?
We said here because he's trying to explain the bag when he's trying to describing it.
Describing what?
The what's it called? The watch.
The watch. So huwa is. So yeah. So why? So why has he said here and not huwa?
لا أدري.
You do know. Just think about it.
When describing because huwa is it. When you describe it is very beautiful, but when you say here, is it due to مضاف إليه?
لا.
Oh,
what's
sorry,
what's the difference between huwa and here? What does huwa mean?
مفرد مؤنث.
مذكر ومؤنث. Yeah. So they both mean it is, but one is masculine, one is feminine. So why has he said here in this sentence?
Because it's feminine. The beautiful is feminine. The watch is feminine, sorry.
Because the watch is feminine. Naam. So we're talking about the watch. جيد. أحسنت. Next one, who was are you Zakaria or Noble?
هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر.
لا.
هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر.
لا. Your mistake is on this word.
Oh, قدر, sorry.
قدر. نعم. So هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر. وهذه قدر. نعم. ما معنى الجملة؟
This is the spoon.
Not the.
And
this is a.
Sorry, this is a spoon, and this is a saucepan.
نعم. So قدر, it means pot, or it can mean maybe means a pan. I don't know why they've put this. This wouldn't be a spoon. نعم. So this is incorrect. هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر. طيب, Abu Ahmed, what's the point of this sentence? What can you see the author's trying to teach you something in this sentence that he hasn't done before?
Feminines don't necessarily have a tam al-buta.
Mumtaz, excellent. So what he's trying to teach you here, the author, Hafidhullah, هذه ملعقة. So we know ملعقة is feminine because of the ta, but then he says هذه قدر, and this word doesn't end with a ta. So he's showing you it doesn't necessarily mean like it's not a condition that every word has to have a ta to be feminine. And for example, we say Maryam, Maryamu, هذه مريم. نعم. So there's many words, as we mentioned before, like nar. Narun is feminine. Also, Jahannam is also feminine. نعم. So هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر. نعم. Abu Ahmed.
No.
Do you know the word for knife?
No. La.
So we say sikin. This is just because we mentioned spoon. So sikinun. And then for fork, we have shawkatun. So now you've got your knife, fork, and spoon. Shawkatun. نعم. So ملعقة, سكين, شوكة. نعم. So this is a spoon and this is a pot. زكريا, الملعقة في القدر. ما معنى الجملة؟
The spoon is in the pot or the pan.
The spoon is in the pot. نعم. So why does القدر, why does it have a كسرة?
What's it called? حروف الجر.
Because of the حرف الجر. نعم. Because of the في. الملعقة في القدر. نعم. جيد. So let's have Musa Muhammad. So Sayyid Abdul Rahim and Musa Muhammad. So Sayyid, you want to read the next sentence?
السلام عليكم.
Salam rahmatullah.
هذه بقرة الفلاح.
هذه بقرة الفلاح. نعم. ما معنى الجملة؟
ما أدري أستاذ. This is a cow, but I don't understand. بقرة الفلاح.
نعم. So this is, so obviously it's a cow that belongs to someone, isn't it? Because it's مضاف مضاف إليه.
Yes.
So who normally owns cows?
Farmer.
Yeah, there you go. Farmer.
Farmer. Okay.
نعم. So هذه بقرة الفلاح. هذه بقرة الفلاح. نعم. So this is the farmer's cow. فلاح is farmer. نعم. So فلاح with a shadda. We also have the word falahun, which means like successful. Falahun. We have fallah. هذه بقرة الفلاح. جيد. بقرة مضاف، الفلاح مضاف إليه. موسى تفضل. هذا
أنف وهذا فم.
هذا أنف وهذا فم. نعم. ما معنى الجملة؟ ما معنى الجملة؟
This is lips.
لا. So أنف is nose. فم is mouth.
Lips.
No mouth. Lips is شفتٌ. شفتٌ. That's a lip. So lip is شفتٌ. Obviously, two lips is شفتان. That's why Allah says, أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْن وَلِسَانٌ وَشَفَتَيْن. ولسانا وشفتين. ولسانا. نعم. So if we can try and keep him in the picture. So the next one, is it Sayyid?
Yes, أستاذ.
تفضل. هذه
أذن وهذه عين.
نعم. هذه أذن وهذه عين. نعم. So we've done عين in lesson 3 and we've done fam in lesson 3 as well. So أنف is nose, فم is mouth. So ما معنى هذه أذن وهذه عين؟
This is an ear, and this is an eye.
نعم. Okay, so look at the two sentences, the one above and the one below. Now what's the author teaching us?
It seems as the author is trying to say the parts of the face are feminine.
No, because أنف
Feminine.
is on your face
And
fem is on your face.
yes,
Literally, usually the rule is that body parts that you have in
body
two,
parts.
that you have two of, are feminine. So we have two ears, we have two eyes, so they're feminine. هذه أذن وهذه عين. As mentioned in the ayah, ألم نجعل له, have we not made for him, i.e. mankind, ألم نجعل له عينين, two eyes, ولسان, lisan, which means a tongue, وشفتين, and two lips, وهديناه النجدين. So هذه أذن وهذه عين. So things, bodily parts that you have two of, then they are feminine. As we see here also, if you carry on. Next one.
وهذه يد وهذه رجل.
نعم هذه يد وهذه رجل. ما معنى الجملة؟
And this is a palm.
يد, the whole of it.
The hand.
Hand, and this is a hand. وهذه رجل.
And this is a leg.
And this is a leg. نعم.
Leg. Two legs. Okay. رجل.
No, رجل واحد. It's just رجل واحدة. Sorry.
Yes, but since we have two legs, it is هذه, right?
Yes. Yeah. نعم جيد. So هذه يد وهذه رجل. نعم. As a point, does anybody know the word for knee?
كعب.
لا, ركبة. ركبة. And anybody know the word for thigh? It's فخذ. فخذ. So كعب, as you mentioned, is ankle. كعب. And the foot is قدم. قدم. نعم. So some of these words, for example, in the hadith of Jibreel, when Jibreel came to Muhammad, وضع يديه, that he put his يديه, his two hands, على ركبتيه, upon his two knees. Or in another narration, على فخذيه, or on his two thighs. That Jibreel placed his hands on the two rukbatay of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or his thighs. نعم. And كعب, ankle. قدم. جيد. طيب, so this is the text for, so what we're studying in this lesson is هذه and لام الملك. Now, is there any questions about what we've just done? Anyone confused? لا? Okay, جيد. So, as usual, we'll go straight on to the tamarin, so exercises. So we have تمارين اقرأ واكتب, read and write. Okay, let's get some other people in. So we have Abu Adam, Ala Mike, Umar Owais. أسد أسد الله علي عباس عبيد. نعم جيد. طيب اقرأ. So here I want you to read. We say اقرأ وترجم, read and translate. So we have اقرأ واكتب, read and write. But I want you to read and translate. And I will add the harakat as you're reading it to make sure you are doing it correctly. So Abu Adam, اقرأ الأولى. موجود؟ No. عمر أويس.
وأسد الله موجود إن شاء الله.
حياك الله. عمر تفضل. أسد الله.
نعم. الواحد هذا مسجد وهذه مدرسة.
نعم هذا مسجد وهذه مدرسة. نعم ما معنى الجملة؟
This is a masjid and this is a school.
نعم. Why did you not translate the first one but you translated the second one?
Because I feel that a masjid is ma'ruf, it's well known, you know, it's a place of prostration, it's a mosque, it's the place where the Muslims go to. That's why I didn't translate.
لا بأس لا بأس. No problem. عمر, next one. الثانية.
من هذه؟ هذه أخت عباس.
نعم من هذه؟ هذه أخت عباس. جيد. ما معنى الجملة؟
Who is this? This is the sister of Abbas.
نعم هذه أخت عباس. ممتاز. Next one. علي عباس.
هذه ديك، هذا ديك، وهذه دجاجة. دجاجة.
دجاجة.
دجاجة.
نعم you read it with a شدة. It's not دجاجة. دجاجة. نعم. Again.
هذا ديك وهذه دجاجة.
نعم ما معنى الجملة؟
This is a rooster and this is a لا أعرف.
It's the lady. It's the same thing.
The female rooster. This is a rooster and this is a female rooster.
They lay eggs.
Chicken.
Chicken. نعم. So دجاجة is chicken. هذا ديك وهذه دجاجة. نعم جيد. So obviously the author here showing هذا is مذكر, هذه مؤنث. نعم. عبيد الرابعة.
هذا هذا ابن المدير وهذا بنت المدرس.
وهذا
بنت المدرس.
لا لا لا. خطأتان في الجملة. Two mistakes you made. Read it again.
هذا ابن المدير.
Do we say هذا and then we stop and say ابن المدير? You stopped. You read هذا ابن المدير. Is that correct? The way you read it?
هذا ابن المدير.
هذا ابن المدير. نعم هذا ابن المدير.
وهذه بنت المدرس.
وهذه بنت المدرس. نعم you read it as هذا before. وهذه بنت المدرس. نعم ما معنى الجملة؟
This is the son of the headmaster and This is the daughter of the teacher.
نعم هذا ابن المدير وهذه بنت المدرس. نعم ابن المدير and بنت المدرس. What are they?
I don't know.
مضاف ومضاف إليه.
Okay.
نعم. طيب and next one we have Mel family. أين
نعم أين كديه
لا
اللحم لحمي
لا أين you said قدير.
أنا قدر لحمي.
أين قدر اللحم؟ أين قدر اللحم؟ نعم قدر مضاف
إليه.
نعم
قدر مضاف لحمي مضاف إليه.
نعم أين قدر اللحم؟ نعم. So I've just realized we missed out number 5. So let's go back up. Who hasn't read for a while? Abdul Khaliq al-Khamis. So we just read the 6th one and we skipped the 5th one.
هذه أم ياسر.
نعم هذه أم ياسر. ما معنى الجملة؟
This is Yasir's mother.
نعم this is Yasir's mother. أم مضاف ياسر مضاف إليه. جيد. Then we go to sorry. Let's go back to Mel. So أين قدر اللحم? So now we'll do number 6 again.
Number 6.
So you've read أين قدر اللحم. We've done that. So the answer is
where is the meat pot?
Yeah. So meat pot, yeah. قدر اللحم. So we've done lahm in I think lesson 3. Means meat. لحم. نعم. نعم الجواب هي
في ثلاجتي.
نعم هي في الثلاجة. ثلاجة. So is ثلاجة. نعم. نعم ما معنى هي في الثلاجة؟
Is in the fridge.
It's in the fridge. نعم. أين قدر اللحم؟ هي في الثلاجة. So why has he said here and not هو? Isn't قدر it's masculine?
No, the fridge is masculine. The fridge is feminine.
Is that why we say here? What is here referring to?
It's referring to hold on.
Or say أين يعود الضمير?
Here referring to it refers to the meat. I mean to the pot.
The pot.
No.
So why is it here? Isn't it مذكر? Isn't it masculine and not feminine? Shouldn't it be هو في الثلاجة?
Oh no, the meat. That's what they put it.
But meat is مذكر.
Yeah. I'm lost.
I'm just trying to confuse you, that's why. As we mentioned above, قدر is feminine. Even though it doesn't have the ta, it's feminine. انتبه. Pay attention. جيد. عاقب تفضل.
هذا باب وهذه نافذة.
نعم هذا باب وهذه نافذة. نعم ما معنى الجملة؟
This is a door and that is
لا. not that. هذه.
This is a door and this is a garden.
Garden. My drawing's not good enough. What is it? A window. نعم نافذة window. So هذا باب وهذه نافذة. نافذة window. جيد. Let's carry on. No, so that's it.
Ustad, if you mind, can you please translate, like give us an accurate translation of the number 6? أين قدر اللحم?
So where is the meat pot? It's in the fridge.
But an empty meat pot?
Why would it be empty?
No, because like from the sentence alone, it sounds empty. So
what sounds empty?
No, it says أين قدر اللحم, and I thought that, oh, okay, it's probably an empty meat pot. Okay, moving on. It's just my brain missing a thing. Moving on. Sorry.
Why would where would you get that from?
No, it's just أين قدر اللحم.
Where's the meat pot?
Moving on.
I've never heard of a meat pot myself, to be honest. But where's the قدر اللحم?
Yeah, I've just heard of a pot.
Why would it be empty?
Moving on. It was just a stupid question. Moving on.
Okay. Here في الثلاجة. It's in the ثلاجة. طيب, so inshallah we'll نقف هنا. We'll stop here. So you have all of this to homework on, the vocabulary. So again, in this lesson we've studied هذه, this is, and it's مؤنث مفرد. And we studied لام الملك, the lam of possession, which is also a حرف جر. It's also a preposition. طيب, so any questions in regards to this lesson?
How can you differentiate between the lam of possession and the lam of definition?
Because the lam of definition, he has alif and lam. We say al-baytu.
Oh, okay. So it's just lam on its own. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So if we do, for example, if we have al-baytu here, al-baytu, if we add alif and if we add the lam of possession to the house, then we take out the lam, the alif, and we write it like this: lil bayti. Lil bayti belongs to the house. Lil bayti. Now, how do you determine the male and female ending is based on the subject in the sentence? No, it's just generally some nouns are masculine and feminine, and usually feminine nouns, they end with the ta at the end, ta marbuta. But there are many words in the Arabic language which don't end with a ta, and they're feminine. And people say, but how do you know? You know by learning, by studying. That's the way you know. Like I studied that Jahannam was feminine because when I memorized the surah, it says هذه جهنم. It said, Allah says in the Quran, هذه جهنم. This is Jahannam, the hellfire. And also nar is referred to as feminine in the Quran. So you just ask, or you make a mistake, and then people will correct you. Okay. Is there any reason why some feminine two dhammas? Oh, so generally the names, the feminine names, they end with one dhamma. But when they're nouns, feminine nouns, they still end with two dhammas. Like mudarrisun, mudarrisatun, muhandisun, muhandisatun. But the names, they end with one dhamma. If it's a name, an actual name of a person, Maryamu, Khadijatu, Aishatu. Is there any reason? Okay, done that.
Ustad,
Mm-hmm.
if we go to the second page of the Dars al-Sadis, Liman Hada.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this as well like as saying who is this for? If you're asking who is this for?
Yeah, you can translate it like that as well. Who is this for? Who does this belong to?
No, if you're giving someone something and someone asks you who is this for, don't you say Liman Hada?
Yeah, you can say that. Liman Hada. You can say that. Or Hada Liman. So you can say Liman Hadihi or Hadihi Liman. You can word it both ways. Do we add the lam of possession to nouns only? Yeah. And names, sifat. Unless you can bring any other example, then Allah knows best. So someone asked, they're having a hard time keeping up with the lessons. What's my advice? You have to make time priorities. If it's Arabic is a priority for you, then you must give it the time. If it's important, then you will give it time. If you just, how many hours do you spend with the phone in your hand when you could be revising from a book instead? Signs of feminine nouns. Is there any more? I don't know. Allahu A'lam. Not that I know of. How do we know when an object is feminine? So we've just covered that. Maryam, it means pot. I think you're answering someone. Qidr.
Hello.
Yes.
Ustad, in the surah, لم يكن الذين كفروا.
Mm-hmm.
Is this lam of possession in لم يكن الذي?
Where's the lamb? No.
لم يكن الذي.
No. Lam here is negation. It's lam like this. Lam and meen. لم يكن الذين كفروا. It's هذا نفي الماضي. So this is a negation for past tense.
Okay.
It's not the it's not lam. This is the lam.
Like لن تنالوا البر.
No, that is lan. No. That is lam and noon.
Okay.
And this, funny how you mentioned that, because lam is negation for the past, lan is negation for the future.
Okay.
So Allah is talking about Ahlul Kitab when he says Lam yakunil ladina kafaru min Ahlil Kitab. He's talking about the people of the past. And in this ayah, Lan tanalul birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun. Allah says, you will never be able to achieve piety up until hatta tunfiqu, until you give that which you love. So lam is for the past, lan is for the future. As Allah said to Musa, Arini anzur ilayka. Allah, Musa requested from Allah, he says, Arini, let me see Anzur ilayka. So I basically show yourself to me so I can see you. And Allah said to him, Qala lan tarani. Allah said, you will not be able to see me. So this lan here, as we mentioned, we say it negates the future. And you can translate it as you will never, because usually it has emphasis with it as well, tawqid. So, for example, if one of you used to say, أنا لن أذهب إلى السوق. أنا لن أذهب إلى السوق. I will never go to the market. نعم. So this لن, you are negating it and you're emphasizing you will never go to that place. But in this ayah, where Allah says, قال لن تراني, when he said to Musa, لن تراني, he says, you will never be able to see me, then a certain group of people from the innovators, they use this ayah and they say, Allah will not be seen in this life or the next life. But obviously the aqidah, the belief of Ahlul Sunnah, is that Allah will not be seen in this life, but he will be seen in the next life, based upon the numerous evidences in the Quran and in the Hadith. So, can you mute your mic, please?
I was waiting for him to do his thing. Listen. Hold on, what?
Okay, so one of the first people to speak about this from the innovators, his name was Az-Zamakhshari, and he was a scholar in the Arabic language. But obviously he put the Arabic language before the text of the Quran and the Sunnah. So he based upon the ruling in the Arabic language. He based his aqidah off the rulings of the Arabic language, which is incorrect, because obviously the Quran and the Sunnah take precedence over the Arabic language, even though they don't disagree anyway. So this lan, the scholars of Ahl Sunnah, they called it lan az-Zamakhshari, the lan of Zamakhshari. They named it after him as purposefully, to show people that it's incorrect to believe in the ayah the way he believed in it. قَالَ لَن تَرَانِي. And they produced all the evidences to prove that Allah will be seen in the afterlife. May Allah grant us all to be able to look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the afterlife. طيب, any other questions? We strayed very far then. لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. I don't know why someone's written that.
Ustad,
Yes.
what does mil'aqa mean?
Mil'aqa means spoon. Ustad, if I want to say what is this, but I don't know if it's masculine, just say هذا. You say ما هذا. Why? من باب التغليب. من باب التغليب. So there's a principle in the Arabic language, and it's not a sexist principle, which people are very careful what they say these days. But in the Arabic language, masculine generally takes precedence over feminine. And that's for no reason. Now, so for example, if there was a place full of like 1,000 women, and there was one male, and for example, if it was a child, you would refer to them in a masculine term. So, for example, if it was women, you would say man antunna, who are you? But because one male is present, we would say man antum, as masculine. Yeah, تفضل. Someone's asking what's the mean. تفضل means like go ahead. طيب نقف هنا, so we'll stop here for a few minutes and then we'll carry on with the side book within a few minutes. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد.